Yes, still on This Morning on ITV, your station of choice, and certainly the best. We come to you on the platform of Nationalism and You. That's that program where the spirit of Mother Nigeria is beckoning on all to be a participant in the process of nation building and reconstruction. And this morning, the discussion segment, we are taking a look at fostering national unity. How do we do it? And we have a cerebral personality in the house, Dr. Henry Dibem, to discuss this with us. Dr. Henry Dibem, you are welcome.
Sir. Thank you so much.
And now, Nationalism and You.
It is my responsibility and duty to build a nation.
You're welcome. That is the message we're pushing out there.
Thank you so much,
no
sir.
No more pushing the responsibility to another.
Oh, no, not at all.
We just have to participate.
I agree with you.
National unity. National unity.
Yeah.
I remember Dr. Chief Odumegu Ojukwu once said, it appears Nigerians are afraid of our unity. And the founding fathers of this nation, they underscored the importance of national unity in the first national anthem. The first national anthem talked about building a nation where freedom, peace, and unity reign. Then the second national anthem that we had went forth to add that we will build a nation, we will serve a nation with our heart and might. That nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. You can see the recurrence, which underscores the fact that they knew that to build that nation, national unity is germane.
Yeah.
What is your thought on this issue? Have we attained it?
No, have we attended it as in looking at the situation, looking at the various calls for secessions and individualism, and so I don't think we've done that. We have not in any way. And to be honest, maybe it's something that is a bit different that I've not heard before. I actually do not blame anybody. I actually do not blame any Nigerians for what is going on, because we do not really understand where this problem comes from. You know, if we want to track the problems of Nigeria, we keep on just looking at all those ephemeral and some secondary kind of symptoms and trying to solve it. The issue of nationalism in Nigeria starts from we, as a person, losing our own identity. We don't even know whom we are. As a person, nobody knows that. So we keep on trying to, live out what is programmed in our head, whom we think we are, but we are not. So I will go back a bit before I come down to the core questions to tell you the history, what I think to be the root cause of the problems we have, why we are not patriotic as we think. It started back in the days of slavery era, colonization, where we are completely, our fathers, our forefathers, ancestors were completely dehumanized of whom they are. Completely dehumanized. And there is that process kind of reprogrammed their mindset, to lose confidence, to lose esteem of themselves, and make them start thinking that they should be like their colonial masters, or they should be their colonial masters, and they should be proud of their colonial masters and their countries living their own ancestry. And that is the program that's running in every Nigerian head. So, and that has been passed over from one generation to the other. So it's a kind of a legacy we picked from our parents, because our parents picked it from their own parents, and that's how it continues. So people behave the way we behave without even knowing the reasons. And everybody in the country is a victim. The leaders, the followers, the professors, the students, the parents, the children, everybody, the media. And what am I trying to say? Let me tell you where we disowned, when you don't have sense of ownership on yourself first, is By the time you start thinking that white, I mean, your beauty sense has been reprogrammed to believe that white color complexion is better than yours, and you start rubbing, bleaching cream, trying to, look fairer. If you have fair children, you are happier. You feel that they are more beautiful. It's something in our head. By the time you start thinking, like if I have our ladies with long hair, they've forgotten, starting from the skin, that the skin you're admiring is your colonial master skin, and that is their natural skin, not yours.
But we have our natural fair people.
Yes, no, what I mean, the fair people you are seeing among us, yes, are in our own, the programmed guilty sense, we feel that they are finer than the blacks.
But we chased the colonial master away of going to 60 years ago. We chased them away, and we created a wording of national anthems that program us towards building our own nations according to our own.
No, what we chased the physical colonial masters away. We didn't chase the mind that they put in us. And I'm telling you, when you talk about the national anthem is so beautiful. It's the most beautiful, whether anthem or song or poem. Each time I read it, I feel so proud of this country. But unfortunately, I will come down to what's going on. Even our children, they recite the national anthem, they don't even know the meaning. In fact, I said, let me tell you the truth, I became very aware, nurtured and connected with national anthem at my old age. Not even when I was young. Those days, we just recite it and they clap for us. We don't know the meaning. The kids were not taught to even understand what national anthem is. But let me take you back to what I'm saying. Now, by the time you see our ladies, they prefer the long hair. They flick it like this, they look so beautiful, they feel they are fine. That long hair is their colonial master's natural hair, not yours. I want to tell you to see where we're disowning ourselves before I even come to the country. So that's why you won't forgive them. Now, that is that. We come to our local language. Our local language, when somebody speaks good English and put some phonetics and you so much admire the person, we clap. That's what we worship. And when we were young, let me tell you, they started dehumanizing and denationalizing us as children. When you speak your local language, they called it vernacular, and either you clear the grasses or they knock on your head or whatever. Come on, speak English. No vernacular in this class. What are they telling you? Know you, disown yourself, and speak another person, your colonial master's language. That is who we are, and you're not yourself. So they've started this denaturing from young age, and we don't know that. Again, at the time, even as a system in Africa, I wrote, because yes, I propose I found an organization that's trying to connect Africans to their origin, not just Nigerians, because it's a common disease all over. By the time you are telling a child, you keep a child at home for not passing English language. 3 years, 4 years, they are struggling trying to do the same exam for not passing English language. You are keeping them at home. What are you telling them? Then the colonial masters that you are doing the same thing to you, they don't have any kind of barrier in their language. Did they give in about your language? They don't care. But we've kept our children, denied them of the education because they can't speak English. Then you talk about the traveling abroad. When someone travels abroad, it becomes a kind of a social status. Oh, I'm coming. You go to Facebook, you go to Twitter, you snap when you are in the UK or US and everything. All those things, it's what we are suffering because we do not believe in whom we are.
So what you're saying is that our patriotic and ardent love of our country and knowing our identity is the first call to fostering national unity?
That is the first call. That is finding a way of reprogramming ourselves back to who we are. You have to identify yourself, love yourself first. It's self-love. Because when you start loving who you are, you will now discover that you're actually a Nigerian, not an American. So that is when you now start loving Nigeria. And nationalism, in my own definition, is love for whom you are and love for your country. Not another person shouldn't love it for you.
Now, our country is extremely challenged. And the challenges are coming out in multifaceted manner. And that is why we are discussing this issue of fostering national unity. Now, you definitely know that without unity of purpose, purposeful leadership will be a mirage. How do we foster a unity of purpose that will crystallize national unity?
First, I will still go back to the same thing. trying to help us identify whom we are. We need to really understand that we are Nigerians, we are Africans, we are blacks. We are not them. First, that is first. Then, a lot of things have happened in the past, and those are the products of that, losing that sense of ownership we are. And those products are the things we are seeing today. We don't even know why we disagree with ourselves. We don't even know why in an office, if you come to make a comment because you're a black, I wouldn't believe you. But if a white man makes the same comment you make, I'll believe. So you see what this is? So disowning ourselves because we don't even know. So first is looking at those past, see where we got it wrong. In fact, I'm thinking that National Orientation Commission should be on its toes, seriously. And I'm feeling like if I handle that agency free of charge, not pay, it just in 3 years, Nigeria will change. Because it's all about trying to reprogram that thing we know. So what I'm going to is that by the time you understand all these things, go to the past and pick out all those hurts. We've wronged ourselves so badly. Unknowingly, that is just a program that is only in our minds. Just we are losing that power of mind, and we are not able to think positively about ourselves. So by the time you do that, then the next level of that unity should be finding a way how to reconcile ourselves, how to seek forgiveness from each other. I will look at you at the face and say, brother, now I understand that what my fathers did to your fathers, or what happened those days, some people even sold themselves as slave trade. They were used as agents. But whatever happens, which also cascaded to the civil war that we had, all those things we didn't see. We were not seeing clearly. Our fathers didn't see. But now we realized we are making a very strong commitment to start a new generation of new Nigeria from now by first forgiving ourselves, bringing in healing. This is the healing process. We can't jump all this healing process and keep looking at the back and hoping to go forward. We can't jump it and looking for national unity. By the time we heal ourselves, forgive from the heart, sincerely. Not the type that we are doing these days. Forgive sincerely and say, okay, from now, let us build this nation from ourselves. And that is when the national unity, that is when you start seeing a brother as a brother, a sister as a sister, and not Fulani or Igbo or Hausa. We know that this is who we are, because we are human first before all those divisions, which are not even under our control. So that healing process, that forgiveness, that understanding whom we are is the first step to national unity. Not building bridges, not revising constitution, not changing Nigerian name. All those things are just secondary. So these are just the primary things we should do.
Apart from the preference for the colonial things, because I, as an individual, I came face to face with what you just said about some preference for colonial, and I said to myself, no race is superior to me, and the rest of it, things of that nature. Good. But apart from this, coming to ourselves, we have been together for 58, going to 59 years in this. What are some other factors can you identify to be militating against our national unity?
Except if there is,
apart from the inferiority complex or whatever and the rest of it, what are the factors that you think are militating against?
Oyetakin, you know what? One, I strongly know what is a primary problem. If you're asking me another factor, I don't, because any other factor I will mention are all linked to this basic. I'm not even saying because of our colonial masters, yes, but I'm just trying to say this is where it started. We have to start resetting our minds. It's all here. You behave the way you behave because of the thought process that goes to it. You wake up every morning and decide to come here because of something you believe. There's some discussion we had that you believed something, you wanted to do something, you had a dream, and all of a sudden an opportunity came up and you connect because you had a dream. If you never had a dream, if you never had a vision for the country, never had a dream at all for yourselves, when the opportunity comes, you release it. You won't even know what it means. So at that point that we are saying, I don't think I have any other thing until we clear this first. And it's not by force, it's not by might, it's not by war. It's by people. At some point, Nigerians will just have to say, can we just stop? Let's just stop. Let's just hold on and go back and ask ourselves this question. Where am I missing it? Where do I think my brother is not my brother? In the first place, all these identities we are all fighting against, like you said, are not our making. I always see people, when I see people, like I'm seeing you, I see a version of me in people. What do I mean by a version of me? What I see is that if I pass through, if I'm born by your parents, pass through your background, pass through, have the kind of friends you have good your school, just go through your life path. You are the version of me. That's how I see it. Because it's like I said, that's how I run my mind. So I don't see, I see an Hausa man or a Fulani man or a Yoruba man or a Muslim. How I see them is that if I am born, or if I was born in a Muslim family, like his own family, bear by his parents and everything, I will be like him.
This brought me to recollect the fact that government of Nigeria perennially have taken some certain steps that are considered necessary towards fostering national unity, such as building the unity schools. Building the unity school, then we created in the National Youth Service Corps. All of these were some of the programs that were tailored towards fostering national unity. To what extent have all these?
No, it hasn't done anything anyway. It hasn't done anything, but I believe in those programs. You know, I believe in those programs, but it's just that they are doing the last thing, or the second thing last, you know, or first, something like that. So if I still take you to a problem tree, when you have a tree, and you discover that the fruits and the leaves are fiddled, they're not doing well, you know, and you are thinking, what do I do to the leaves? Without actually thinking, what kind of nutrient does the tree pick from the ground? What happens to the roots? The environment the tree is it favorable? Is it healthy for it? So it could be those substances or those nutrients, whatever wrong they are, maybe it's picking poison within the environment and taking it up to the, that's why the leaves and fruits are fiddled. So if you bring unity schools, for example, I gave you initially, I said, when our children recite national anthem, they don't understand what it means. They were never groomed from young, like Japan, like some other countries, to start having that heart of nationalism, start being patriotic, start having love for country, do everything you do for the love of country. So if you just put structure, call it unity schools, without looking at the curriculum and looking at the substance, the content, how would this sink in the hearts of these children to change their mentality to start seeing country first, start seeing the new Nigerian dream or Nigerian dream first before then. If you don't do that, putting structure doesn't make anything. Just like you say, they say we pursue our colonial masters. We pursue the physical colonial masters. But the main one is telling us, how can we pursue this and replace it? That is what we are thinking about. NYSC is a very, very wonderful thing. And I'm so much grateful, personally, to NYSC. Because it made me to see the North differently. Not the kind of thing we are fed in the South. As this is the North, this and that. The first time when they posted me there, I served in Sokoto. And after finishing Sokoto, I almost stayed there. I had my master's in University of Usman Dan Fodio University. And I mixed up well. I was so much grateful to whoever that brought it in the first place. You know, so it's the same way. In fact, I took my service like a vacation. If you want to travel to America to know what's going on there, you go to the country and you see how lovely. And I discover that these bad elements that's holding us hostage in the country, these the same bad people, they are all over everywhere in their different proportions. So that is why I'm not too much of a fan of secession, in the sense that it's just like having a water and you have some drops of ink in the water and it's corrupt. So if you're saying divide that water into 20, you are dividing the same problem into 20. That's what it is. So you have the same people. So if we have a way of separating these bad elements from us, and it should be out of love, because in the first place, there are reasons why they are doing what they are doing. Let's first try to understand why, including our leaders. I still, like I said, you might hardly find me blaming them, because I know it's the same problem is all over. It's holding the leaders, it's holding the followers. If you pick randomly among the followers and take them to leadership and bring these ones down, you will still see the worst. And that is why it has been going down from 1960. We have been losing it because the same thing that drives everybody's movement and actions has been self. So if I'm complaining because I'm hungry, I will say the country is not good because I'm hungry.
Are you aware that some people are campaigning for the nullifications of the National Youth NYSC?
No, I'm not aware, but it's just like I'm also aware that some people are campaigning for changing the name of Nigeria. That will solve our problem. I'm aware of all that. I'm aware of revising the constitution.
Would you want to see the NYSC cancelled?
No, I wouldn't, honestly. I wouldn't, but we need more work in that, because it helped me personally as a Nigerian. it helped me to have a holistic view of Nigeria and not the sectionalist view from where I'm coming from, what my parents told me. They never told me about how good. And after all, my mother lived in the north, speaks Hausa very well, and so on and so forth. And I grew up seeing some Fulani and some Hausa guys during Salah. They used to bring rice, when I was so already I've had that mentality. I was lucky to be among them, to discover. And during Christmas period, we go to their houses. So the point I'm trying to make is that there shouldn't be any need. We need to clear the logs in our eyes. We need to clear that program in our head for us to see clearly. It's a kind of a country where blind men are leading blind men. Let
me take you in another dimension. People say that our bond of national unity has been recklessly challenged under our democratic dispensation, particularly these 22 years of our democracy. They said our bond of national unity has been seriously challenged. Why so?
Because people who never believed in their country, people who never believed in themselves, have always been the leaders and also the followers. They never believed. And like I told you, that is the reason why a leader will wake up one day and decide to go for medical treatment in abroad, because he doesn't even believe in his own medical. So he won't even see the reasons to start fixing his own system. That is why everybody wants to get education from abroad, because we value foreign education more than an African education. And even the foreign education is just teaching us how to develop and be relevant in their own countries, not in Africa. So if you're talking about democratic process and everything, it's the same people. What process are we talking about? The organic system is about the people. And these are the people that will build the system we are talking about. You don't use systems to checkmate people. People build systems that will work for them. You know what I'm saying? So when we say systems are not working, institutions are not working, democratic process are not working, my brother, they are the same people. I don't know whether I'm not making that sense. The same people, the same mindset. Somebody who never believed in his country, how can he be a leader of the country? He doesn't have sense of ownership. So he believes, it's just like saying, I have my family as a man, and I've lost my self-esteem, I've lost my self-confidence, I've lost my respect, that I so much believe that another person's family, house, is better than my own. So I will take what belongs to me, in my family, my resources in my family, and take it to that and be dumping it in that man's house. And tell him, wait till I'm coming, I'm bringing my children too. I'll come and pick my children and dump in that family, hoping that by the time I use my hand to destroy my own house, that becomes my plan B. Somebody else's house. You go there to pick second-class citizenship.
So what will you do differently in order to foster national unity if you are given the opportunity?
I will take everybody to drawing board. Thinking, mind power. I will take everybody to a thinking process. Let's understand where the origin of the problem is. At least I am doing it. That's what I'm doing with Geo Africa. It's my little space. Apart from teaching the University of Liverpool, I feel so proud, because when I go outside, what I look at is, what challenges me when I go outside is, why can't my country be like this? I never felt this urge to come to that country to stay or to live. I keep on challenging myself, even though I know that I'm kind of a drop in an ocean, but at least I would find something that I can do little by little, a step at a time. At least I was able to convince one lady that this hair, I will give you an example, not trying to mock my female colleagues, that the long hair you are carrying is your colonial master's hair. So what you are doing is that you keep reminding yourself of slavery.
Your last message to Nigerians.
Remember whom you are. Be yourself. Know your identity. Don't disown yourself. And once you know whom you are, know your identity, know your root, know where you're coming from, you will start loving this country. You will start loving Nigeria. This is whom we are. No retreat, no surrender. We are Nigerians. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Henry Dibem.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. We hope you will avail us the opportunity of having you when we call upon you.
Always.
Another day.
Always.
It is my pleasure hosting you.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here.
Don't go away. We have another discussion segment on nationalism and you. Don't change the channel.